Hello, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. And today we will be talking about how to get experience without actually having experience, specifically for college students like freshmen, sophomores who are looking to get an internship. So, over here on this piece of paper, I've got a couple things that I wanted to talk about, and let's just go straight down the list. First things first, clubs. When you're in college, every single college has like over 100 different clubs in it, I would say, at least the big ones. And all these, most of the colleges have like academic clubs that you could get involved with for your field. There's probably clubs for business students, finance students, chemical engineers, you name it. So there's a chance to join a club that has one of your ideal passions in mind in terms of like your job prospects and all those things. So for me personally, I'm in two consulting clubs. I was also in an industrial engineering student society club, but I didn't really do too much in that club. But you know, as mentioned, there's like a lot of different opportunities around campus that you could go ahead and take advantage of. And especially the academic ones will also give you good experience. I personally worked on like 5 different projects through these clubs, which really helped me build up my consulting resume, at least. Next up, personal projects. So obviously, clubs might be boring for some people, or people might not feel like they fit in, or those types of things. So I know a lot of people, especially CS students, who do personal projects. Working on creating their own website or like some sort of system. One of my friends created a fantasy football like optimization for his dad, which was really cool, and he put that on his resume. So yeah, personal projects, especially in CS or any like field related to that, like maybe even like chemistry or biology, something like that you could do in like a lab, maybe. I don't even know. But those types of things could also be very beneficial to like demonstrate that you have this interest in this field and you are knowledgeable enough, right? Um, if I was to look between two students, one with no experience and one who at least like gives it a try and like has their own web page or like their own like project doing whatever they want, like automating robots or something along those lines, I would definitely choose that student instead. But yeah, next, moving on, shadowing an expert. This is a little bit harder, or definitely a lot harder than the other options because it requires a lot of cold calling and getting someone you don't know at all to help you, right? And at this point, you would probably be doing like what's called non-salary based work. I would my vision of this is you just cold call people on LinkedIn or like write an email and you just say, hey, I'm really interested in what you do. Could I like shadow you and just learn from what you do on a day to day? And they probably won't pay you. If you do a good job, they probably will. But I think this is particularly useful in like STEM fields and also something that's more tangible, maybe like something like real estate as well. I know I was interested in something like that earlier over last summer, and I had the opportunity to talk to a couple people within the real estate field. Not necessarily shadow, but yeah, if you could get someone that is an expert and is willing to put aside some time, definitely do it, even if you don't get paid. The experience right now when you're 20 is way more important than $20, $30, $40 an hour working somewhere. Um, but yeah, next up is becoming a content creator. So really just exploring some like more of your creative side in terms of what you want to bring to the table. All right, there's like social media marketing, there's copywriting. Once you get good enough, you could do like brand sponsorships, merch, all those types of things, and really develop like almost like an entrepreneurial like mindset, I would say. And also just like explore your creative side. Like I know a lot of people don't necessarily enjoy doing what they do on a day to day in terms of what their major is, and they just want like a getaway. You could really use like content creation to like build a monetizable um, hobby, I guess you could say, and like channel your creative energy, all those types of things into, building a platform, building a brand for yourself as well. Next up is research. So this mainly applies for STEM students. I think I've seen some business people do like research within economics, but research in general is all about reaching out to a professor um, and showing interest in their field. I know one of my roommates, he reached out to like 10 or 20 different professors and he got like two of them um, to like offer him a research position, which is good because it also counts as like credits towards your degree at the same time. But having research on your resume could be good depending on what field you want to go into, specifically like pre-med students, biology students, biomedical engineering students, those types of things as well. Um, and yeah, next up, developing your monetizable skills. So this is really just more like innate skills or like learned skills that people might be interested in. So, for example, like sales, marketing, like how to create content, copywriting, all those types of things. And there's more like specific ones too. Like Google certification has like stuff within project management. They have like data analytics, like certifications that you could do and get like a certificate so you could put it on your resume, which is also pretty cool. For my field, specifically industrial engineering, there's something called the Six Sigma certification, which is like about process optimization and stuff that you could also get certified in. It's a little costly though, so just like keep that in mind if you have like disposable income and all of that. Other than that, like obviously you could develop your skills in other methods as well. So like Udemy and Coursera, they both have a bunch of amazing courses online. Not sponsored, by the way, but they do have a bunch of amazing courses where you can learn anything from marketing, finance, public speaking, all those types of things as well, which is pretty cool. And another thing is just read. So like go to your local library. I personally read a lot of like personal finance books. I used to read a lot of like case preparation books as well. So really, it's like tailored towards your interests. And like obviously, there's something out there for people to find in terms of like what they're interested in, right? And then if reading is not your thing, you don't like online courses. There's also like you could watch YouTube videos. There's plenty of like full like complete tutorials about like how to do something. Like literally 2 days ago, I was watching something on how stock options work, and that took like an hour, but I kind of learned the basics, right? There's also like podcasts. If you're like a auditory learner like me, you could use like podcasts on like Spotify or like even audiobooks as well, which, a bunch of different resources. There's a lot of free things on the internet that could help you develop your skills in terms of what you might be looking for. And obviously, like with all these things, you could probably put it on your resume as long as there's like some tangible result that you could, make out of it. Last but not least, like, this is directed for college students. So hackathons, case competitions, career fairs, really any school related like activity that's like academic focus or like professionally based, right? So like hackathons in general for CS students, I won't get too much into the detail, but it's basically like depending on the time frame, you have a limited amount of time to solve a problem or create like a device or some type of software to solve a problem, right? Case competitions relatively similar, but more in the consulting like business field. Business comes up to you with a problem, and you have to figure out how you could solve it. So you have to do a lot of market research, analysis into like their inventory levels, whatever is like specific for that case. And then also like career fairs, very simple. Like I would say this is kind of on the border of like getting experience without experience because you're in the process of like talking to people. So you're really learning how to present yourself professionally. You're learning how to create a well thought out resume. And just learning how to like talk to people within that type of setting, giving your elevator pitch, all those types of things, to focus on your professional communication skills, but also how you present yourself in a room. I think that's also very important because confidence really is key in a lot of these things. And yeah, I mean, that's a good like 6, 7 different ideas right there to get started on your sophomore, freshman year internship, maybe even junior year internship. And yeah, I mean, I hope this video was helpful. And yeah, have a great Thanksgiving.